Further ado, let's dive in. We already went over the backstory for Anti-Man, who is known as Connor Sims in the Blue Marvel video, but how about we actually just dive into his scaling? In the Legends of the Blue Marvel, we see Anti-Man literally taking on the Avengers as he beats them. Now the thing that is most impressive about this is three things. He basically beats Ares, Sentry, and She-Hulk. Now Ares on his own, as I always say and won't change about the gods of Marvel, is that they are existentially high autoversal, as Ares has been able to punch and damage the likes of Zeus, who is powerful enough to chase an avatar of Nyx, the goddess of the night sky, by bringing the light of the Greek pantheon into creation. Also, Hercules and Ares are very much relative, as they exist as metaphorical platonic archetypes of myths, but more like Ares, Hercules is a demigod, if you want to put it like that. And also note that Zeus has been able to tank hits from Amato Mikaboshi, without dying in one go, which is very impressive, as Amato Mikaboshi is relative to the first firmament, right? The Chaos King, which when I do my Eternity video, you have to watch it, so that we know we are not joking here. Beat Sentry so much that Sentry stated that he hasn't seen anyone this powerful, which includes the likes of the Void, Galactus, Odin, and many more. And to be honest, that isn't a lie. As we move on, you will see. You can go watch my Sentry video to see how powerful Sentry is, but in short, Sentry has ripped Ares in pieces, as well as him consistently being above baseline high autoversal. She-Hulk also has feats of taking serious hits from the likes of Hulk, who is also consistently autoversal. It gets more impressive when you know that he can take damage from Dr. Adam Brashear, whose skills relative was slightly above him, on the same high autoversal tier, which I would pull up extra feats I didn't even use in the Blue Marvel video, and these feats cheats on the other ones, and the other ones still get into high autoversal. But before that, Anti-Man alone with his presence could pull in energy by tearing a high hyperversal barrier, bringing in energy from the negative zone, in which the negative zone is the opposite to the positive local universe or multiverse, which I have proven several times while scaling, and I won't repeat it here. I know some people are still confused about this, but I will be addressing this soon in my upcoming cosmology videos, and I did it in the first one, which you should actually go check. He was so powerful that everyone beating him at once was a lost cause, and he goes on to violate them, as only Adam could defeat him by dispersing his energy as an antimatter and matter generator in one body, in which antimatter and matter aren't friends, and antimatter is pure, and Anti-Man is pure antimatter far beyond the negative zone, but the neutral zone or exo-space. Even as at that, it didn't kill him, but when Adam beats him to space and did it once again, but of far much stronger scale, it sort of killed him, which still didn't kill him. Now, to further back up the autoversal claims, which they are high autoversal but for just auto purposes, let's dive into those wondrous, feats. Adam Brashear was able to grow a baby watcher. I did bring this up in the previous video, but I think here I'm taking it a bit deeper. He was able to grow a baby watcher which existentially exists as a high autoversal being, just like other watchers, and Uatu is his father. The watchers basically watch over all cosmic events across multi-eternity, which is far beyond baseline high autoversal, and can even fight and affect Marvel's infinite planes of existence on a scale of multi-eternity. And I corrected this in my eternity scale, which will drop next week. There isn't anything like multi-eternity actually, which you will see, but I get why people call the seventh iteration multi-eternities, because it is a combination of eternity and infinity. It isn't really multi-eternity, because some people say it's a combination of the seventh and eighth cosmos, or the seventh and eighth iterations, which never actually combined. So I don't know where they get that from. And it can even fight and affect Marvel's infinite planes of existence, like I said, on a scale of multi-eternity supposed, which scales to immeasurably into high autoversal. Let that sink in, right? This is also consistent as just within the House of the Watchers, which I am correcting something from the Blue Marvel video right now, which it equates to which I added two different contexts, right, and two interpretations which were totally kind of different, right? So in the House of the Watcher, which is the multiverse museum, it holds higher dimensional living concepts like high autoversal creatures and all, as well as artifacts. The Watcher views over the infinite local multiverse as well, and the Watcher have avatars like every other being in the cosmic hierarchy. They view over the infinite local multiverse as well as the entirety of the multiverse, but sometimes they're too busy with other things. Then these when cosmic beings have avatars do their biddings. Even show you guys how overpowered this is. The Watcher and Galactus, who are two incredibly relative high autoversal beings, but the Watcher should be a lot more powerful actually. They made use of the ultimate nullifier just to debate. I don't know if you guys understand that, but I think I should go a bit deeper. Now, I explained that the ultimate nullifier in my Franklin Richards video, which you should go check out, right? But just know they use something that can one-shot an infinite dimensional multiverse and even autoversal just to debate. It was so insignificant, they just used the ultimate nullifier to debate. And the omnithalamus energy of an adult Watcher is what is needed to grow the baby with antimatter, which Adam casually was growing, at very least a high autoversal being. Now this gets a lot more interesting when you come to find out that antiman is native to the neutral zone, which is beyond the Nixa superflow, which the likes of cosmic beings come to fight and battle our metaphorical platonic ideas, even beyond wars that hold platonic wars and fall on the peak of realities, beings like nightmare as metaphorical false platonic ideas. And when he becomes the herald of Galactus, the life bringer who was on the level of celestials and arguably above. But well, my scaling again for Lifebringer Galactus has changed. I think I might have to remake my Lifebringer Galactus video because a lot of things has changed. I really think I do need to recreate the video, you know. This time is a lot better, but Lifebringer Galactus isn't so as impressive. No, he is impressive, don't get me wrong. He still scales wherever he scales, but just on a lower scale than he expected, just because multi-eternity or eternity at that point, which was a new cosmos, right, that was post Secret Wars, was literally very small. And why just by eternity shaking, Galactus almost died. But you know, he's still very decent, you know. At least he could go beyond the places like the neutral zone, which is actually very impressive. And the neutral zone is the peak of inaccessible into high autoversal. So the scaling, I might not need a new video, just some certain laws concerning it which I could always add in the comment section. Him being the herald of Galactus, right? He was so powerful that he was above the likes of the Ultimates, which includes people like America Chavez, which you would be getting her video on Wednesday. The Ultimates had incredible feats like existing on a high outer plane, but they had a limit. The only reason why Adam needed that costume is because he is part of antimatter and would die by just being there normally, as even anti-man exists there. But yet Adam is stronger than him, and simply because, remember, matter and antimatter cannot coexist. He has both in his body, and then the antimatter would just react more with the antimatter in his video and overcome the other one, and that would just be an explosion on his path. Monica Rambeau would get her video as she is able to fuse with the likes of Adam, who is crazy overpowered, and even Scarlet Witch to match up their incredible powers. Anti-Man could exist in the Nixa superflow and even experience the judgment of a further living tribunal, which is actually stated to be Adam Warlock's living tribunal. After Galactus got beaten by Logos, Anti-Man could amp a dying and starving Galactus who was nearly still going to kill the Ultimate, while weakened as he amped Galactus to be on the level of a near dying facet of the Forger of Worlds, which is impressive as Adam could manipulate and restrict such power. He got Ego and a few other beings who are high altar on a good scale, even when they was all weakened to fight the dead Celestials, who were revived and they all was still incredibly strong. Anti-Man consistently and inevitably in his base alongside Adam's skill to baseline high altar versal at the very least, and while amped as a herald his skills higher than his usual placement on the same tier at least. For those who will be ignorant, please debate me if you think I am wrong. Give your premise in the comment section below. If you found this video informative, please do to like, share, comment, subscribe, and you'll be getting more great content. See you all next time. Peace!